Hey guys, it's Noble. VLOGMAS 2020 episode number 6. And that's kind of crazy to me that I've been doing this for 6 days. Tonight, I'm doing something a little bit different. Every Sunday night during the month of December, as I'm going for 31 days, I'm going to pause and do a Sunday night chat. It's going to be a little conversation about faith and spirituality, but I promise you, I approach faith and spirituality a little bit different than maybe you're used to. Hey. So, faith and spirituality, it's one of my favorite topics. Something I just love talking about with people, to people. And part of it's because I grew up in the church. Maybe like you. Maybe you grew up in the church and you've hit that point where you're struggling with it. I hit that point. I mean, I grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor. I went to a Bible college and all that kind of stuff. And then I hit the skids and I was like, I don't know about this. And part of my problem was that my faith, the identity of God, had been created by other people and handed to me. And I had to go through a season of wrestling myself. And basically, I said, God, I don't like the way you look. And probably it's because other people have told me what you look like. So please show me who you are. And I'm going to be really honest with you. It changed a whole lot for me. So over the years, I've made it one of my life goals to be somebody that I call it being an ambassador. In fact, I got it tattooed on my arm one time. It says Christ ambassador in Aramaic, and it's an ambassador of good. I just want to be somebody that tries to tell people that there's some good news about Christianity. And here's where we struggle, because over the years, as I've spent a lot of time with college students on various college campuses and different environments, there's this one question for people that have resistance of faith that seems to come around. And the question is it true? And that may be a question you've asked. It may be a question you're asking right now. Is it true? Well, the first thing we got to do is determine, what is it? Well, for many people, their response is going to be the Bible. Is the Bible true? And I get that question, because the thing is, there's a lot of people that are really smart out there that seem to be able to poke a lot of holes in the Bible if you just take the Bible as it sits. And I think we've got to take some time and put the Bible in some context and think through it. But here's the biggest thing that I say to that question. The Bible didn't create Christianity. It didn't. In fact, there were thousands and thousands and thousands of Christ followers, of Christians, before there was ever a Bible. The Bible didn't come for a long time. Hundreds of years. There's 4 books of the Bible that were written about 50, 60, maybe 70 years after Jesus lived, that were written to detail and document the life of Jesus. But the Bible itself, and the thing that we know today, it didn't come for a while, and it didn't create Christianity. So that question, while I think it's a great question, and there's a lot of things we can have a conversation about with that, and I'd love to sometime if you're interested, there's another question that often comes around. And it's probably, for me, a little bit more troubling, especially right now. Because the second question that comes around is it good? Is it good? And by it now, they're talking about Christianity. Is it good for me? Is it good for my family? Is it good for my kids? Is it good for society? And that's a good question. Because as I look around today at some of what I see that represents itself as Christianity, I'm not so sure I can say it's good. It's my blog. I can be honest. I think what we see a lot of today is an Americanized, westernized, politicized Christianity. We've got people that are following celebrity pastors, following politicians, instead of following Jesus. And that's troubling. Here's the thing. Christianity is supposed to be good. In fact, in those first 4 books of the New Testament, which is kind of halfway through the Bible, that starts about after Jesus lived, those first 4 books are called the Gospels. And the word gospel means good news. And one of the guys, one of my favorite in that, for those 4, is the book of Luke. And it was written by a guy who, he starts out even in the beginning saying, look, there's other people trying to document this, because he's writing it maybe about 50 to 70 years after Jesus. He said, there are other people trying to document the life of Jesus, but I am taking special care to investigate all the claims and talk to people who were alive when it happened to make sure I give you a good report. And then he starts to tell us about the story of how it all began, the good news part of this, the good news of Jesus being born. And he said, look, there were some angels that stepped up onto the edge of wherever they were, and they said, hey, I bring you good news about some great joy. And here's the surprise. Especially in a world divided like ours, the world that Jesus was born into was really divided too. But the angel said, I'm bringing you some good news that is about great joy. And then the angel said, and it's for everyone. It's for everybody. The good news that he was telling us about is that we don't have to live by a bunch of laws, and we don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops, and we don't have to go and sacrifice things, and because Jesus is here and he's bringing a brand new theme to this thing, and it's called love. That's good news. Now, here's what I know. Most of us, our encounter with faith, with Christianity, has not been the good news part. It's probably been some of the stuff that, well, just needs to be left aside. So I want to challenge you, and I'm going to continue this conversation over the next 3 Sundays. And every Sunday night, it's just going to be a conversation about good news and about love. And that's the message I want you to hear. And here's what I want to tell you. I love, love, love talking about this. If you ever would want to get on a Zoom or you want to call me, look, if you'll reach out through YouTube or Facebook or wherever you see this and leave me a message and say, hey, I want to chat. If you're on Facebook, Noble Bowman, hit me up, send me a private message. I would love to talk to you and try to do my best to be an ambassador of the good news that this thing is really all good. So that's my first Sunday night chat. And I'm actually thinking about in the future, I may extend this a little bit. And if some people want to come online and have chats with me, I can bring you into to the vlog and bring you in live and we can chat about it. So we'll kind of see how that fleshes out. But thanks for joining me tonight. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you would take a moment, if you're on YouTube, even on Facebook, there's a like button just saying, yeah, thumbs up. I liked Noble's chat tonight. Do that for me. Also, there's a subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you'll hit that and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And once you do that, there's a little bell that pops up. And if you click that bell, you kind of ring that bell. Next time I go live or I post something, it'll just let you know. And like I said, I'm going to be doing this every single day for the whole 31 days of December. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with me tonight. Don't miss tomorrow.